We continue our discussion. Karen Melchior is here with us in the European Parliament in Brussels. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
You are a member of the European Parliament representing Denmark and part of a Renew group. Let's explain to our viewers what will be the impact of the European digital identity.
The European digital identity will allow Europeans to travel to other European countries, study, work, or live there without bureaucratic hassle. So that when you have a digital proof of your university diploma, your tax receipts, your driver's license, that you don't have to go to some specific office before leaving in order to be able to prove what you've paid, who you are, what your diplomas are. But you can have it digitally with you. When I was studying in France, I remember I needed to go to specific offices back in Denmark in order to prove to the authorities in France and the university who I was and what I was allowed to do. And I think it's important to make life easier for Europeans, and this digital wallet will make life being a European much easier than it is today.
We have different levels of digitalization in the member states of the European Union. What's the situation in your country? Because I know what's in Romania not so good, unfortunately.
There is a very high level of digitalization in Denmark, both the individual services, and also we have a mechanism for identifying yourself both with your banks and also public authorities, so that you online can go in and see how much money you get back from the tax authorities, or you can see the results of your exams digitally online when it suits you. For me, the purpose of digitalization is to make it easier to be a citizen in a specific country, but also across Europe.
Was it in your country the case of resistance to change, of having some questions about how secure it is to be online, to be as digital as possible, for example?
In Denmark, there is a great level of trust in authorities, and therefore there has not been that much resistance to digital solutions, also in the way that we've done them in Denmark. That's why it's been important for me to make sure that we don't just use the Danish solution across Europe, but that we make sure that the components are open source, that the content of the wallet is entirely private, and nobody from the outside can see what you have in your wallet unless you allow them to. So the citizen is in control of their own data, and that you also know who has seen your data, so that you can make sure that nobody that you didn't invite in have seen it.
And it is also important that it's an option. It's not an obligation to be there, to have this digital wallet.
That was also one of the things I fought for, that the wallet is something that you can choose to use, not something that the government can force you to use. So the authorities need to provide you with an alternative if you don't want to use the wallet, so that people that are not so digitally savvy can always approach authorities and that you have the choice. Because for me, digital solutions must be so good that everybody wants to use them. We shouldn't force people to use bad digital solutions. And I think with the digital wallet, we have an open source components, high level of privacy, and control from the user. And therefore, I think this is going to be a digital solution that people will want to use.
Will I be able to use my digital wallet in your country, in Denmark, or the both of us will be able to use it here in Belgium?
We will be able to use our digital wallets both in Romania and Belgium and Denmark and Sweden, so that we can have our driver's license or our university diplomas with us all the time if we're applying for a job or trying to rent a car.
Should it be translated? There are a lot of questions about small things that people are concerned about. Will I be able to use it as it is, or should I translate it in some other language?
I think it's important that the wallet gets put into place in a way that it's easy for citizens and authorities to use it. I think it's quite easy if we allow for local versions to have translations, but that are built on the same core components, so that it's easy for some local authority in Romania to understand my Danish documents, because they know how the wallet is built up, they know the different sections of it, and that they can immediately trust and understand what I'm showing.
2026 will be only the start. When do you think we will be able to use this wallet all around the European Union?
Hopefully within a couple of years after 2026, because I think there will be a demand from European citizens that authorities use and recognize the wallet, because it will make their lives easier.
Is it safe enough for me? As a citizen, of course.
I am not technically advanced enough to guarantee you that, but that's why we've asked for the components of the wallet to be open source, so that everybody can check if the wallet is safe, so that you don't need to trust that it is safe, but that it can be checked that it is safe.
I think it's very important to understand what comes next after having this wallet, having this digital wallet at the level of the European Union.
I was the rapporteur, or the author of a report here in the Parliament, talking about how administrations should help citizens in digitalization, that our administrations should be able to talk with each other at the demand of citizens, so that it is easier for us to travel across the EU, that our authorities are obliged to talk with each other when the citizens demand it. We as citizens need to make demands on our authorities. Digitalization should serve the citizens and not the authorities.
Why do you think there were so much fake news around this digital wallet?
I think there is a lot of distrust in big technology at the moment. You have the scandal of Cambridge Analytica, disinformation with elections, and
the pressure of AI, artificial intelligence in general.
Yes, and the way that we see fake news or disinformation being spread on social media platforms without platforms taking responsibility for them, and also without the traditional media actually looking a little bit behind what's being shared. And I think that this digital wallet, because it's digital, is met with more skepticism. And also I think there might be some political movements that have an interest in creating fear and skepticism against something that is digital, something that is European. But I think this is unfounded, and I think for me it's important that you don't need to take my word for it. You can go in and look at the source code and check that it is actually safe.
Every country will implement its own database, its own app for the mobile phone, for example. Do you think they will match?
The core of the wallet will be the same across Europe, and then it will be applied differently in each member state according to what we are used to in our own member states. The important thing is not that we have the same solution one-to-one in each member state, but that they can talk together.
In the end of our discussion, what's your message for those who are watching you right now?
This is a digital tool for you to use to make your life easier. It's a requirement that you can go to authorities and say that when I come with my driver's license, with my university diploma, my high school diploma, that the authorities in the south of France, in Spain, in Denmark, that they cannot ask me to hop through hurdles in order to prove who I am and what I can, but that this allows you to make demands on authorities.
Karen Melchior, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Vouă celor de acasă vă spun să rămâneți pe Antena 3 CNN. Nu uitați că ne revedem și sâmbătă viitoare la 9:30. Cu bine și sănătoși să fim!